August 26, 2025, Baabda, Lebanon. In the marble halls of the presidential palace, cameras flash and microphones crowd the podium. Today, US envoys arrive with a message that could reshape Lebanon's fragile security balance. The time has come to move from promises to action and to disarm Hezbollah. The press conference begins with American envoy Tom Barrack preparing to address journalists. He is joined by Ortagus, whose remarks strike at the heart of Lebanon's political dilemma. Weeks earlier, the Lebanese government made what many described as a historic decision to begin the process of disarming Hezbollah. But as Ortagus tells reporters, encouragement alone is no longer enough. "We're all greatly encouraged by the historic decision of the government," she says, "but now it's not about words, now it's about action." Her words reflect Washington's mounting impatience. For years, Hezbollah's arsenal of rockets and fighters has stood as both a symbol of Lebanese resistance and a source of regional tension. Now, Ortagus insists that the world expects Lebanon to follow through. She outlines a framework of reciprocity, saying that Israel, long Hezbollah's most bitter adversary, is prepared to respond in kind. Israel is willing to go step by step, she notes. It might be small steps, baby steps, but they're willing to go step by step with this government. The message is simple. As Lebanon takes each measure toward disarmament, Washington will press Israel to mirror those moves. Every step that the Lebanese government takes, Ortagus continues, we will encourage the Israeli government to make the same step. It is an unusual moment, an American envoy portraying Israel as willing to engage in cautious, incremental reciprocity with Beirut. But Tom Barrack, speaking after her, makes the Israeli conditions crystal clear. He explains that if Lebanon shows real movement on Hezbollah's weapons, Israel will put forward its own proposals. When the Israelis see that, he says, they will give their counter-proposal of what they will do in withdrawals and security guarantees on their borders, their boundaries. And then comes the most striking statement of the day. Barrack asserts that Israel has no desire to remain entangled in Lebanon. What Israel has now said, which is historic, he declares, is we don't want to occupy Lebanon. We are happy to withdraw from Lebanon, and we will meet those withdrawal expectations with our plan as soon as we see what is the plan to actually disarm Hezbollah. For Lebanon, these words land heavily. On one hand, they appear to open a door, an Israeli promise relayed through Washington that occupation is not the objective. On the other, the condition is steep. Hezbollah's disarmament, a task that has eluded Lebanese governments for decades. To understand the weight of this demand, one must consider Hezbollah's place in Lebanon. The group is not simply an armed militia, it is also a political party with seats in parliament, ministers in cabinet, and a deep social network of schools, charities, and hospitals. For its supporters, Hezbollah's weapons are a shield against Israeli aggression, born from the painful memories of past wars. For its critics, the arsenal represents a state within a state, undermining Lebanon's sovereignty and preventing the central government from exercising full control. The US position, echoed today in Baabda, is that this dual role is unsustainable. Washington argues that Hezbollah's continued militarization risks dragging Lebanon into new conflicts and blocks the path to a stable, sovereign state. But translating that position into policy is far more complicated than words at a press conference. Previous attempts to curtail Hezbollah's weapons have faltered, either because of political paralysis in Beirut or fears of triggering civil strife. Still, today's message underscores a shift in tone. The envoys speak not only of pressure, but of possibility, suggesting that real movement could bring tangible benefits, including Israeli withdrawals and border guarantees. That is no small offer in a region where frontiers are often drawn in blood. Beyond the palace walls, the stakes remain stark. Along the Israeli-Lebanese border, tensions simmer constantly. Skirmishes and rocket fire erupt periodically, threatening to escalate into full-scale war. The last such conflict, in 2006, left more than 1,000 dead, most of them Lebanese civilians, and caused widespread destruction that Lebanon has struggled to recover from. Both sides rebuilt, but the memories are fresh and the risks ever present. Israel's warning, as conveyed through Barrack and Ortagus, is clear. Disarm Hezbollah and a pathway to de-escalation could open. Keep the weapons in place and the risk of confrontation remains. For Lebanon's leaders, the dilemma is agonizing. Confront Hezbollah directly and risk political collapse or worse. Delay action and risk international isolation, financial collapse, and possibly renewed war. The press conference closes with both envoys reiterating their support for Lebanon's sovereignty, but reminding journalists that the world will be watching what happens next. Symbolism will no longer suffice. The envoy's departure from Baabda leaves behind a heavy burden on the Lebanese government to prove that its decisions are more than political theatre. As the cameras fade and the palace doors close, the question lingers. Can Lebanon truly disarm Hezbollah, or will the armed group's political clout make that mission impossible? Washington has placed its bet that pressure, promises and reciprocity might push Beirut forward. Israel, for its part, has dangled the prospect of withdrawal. But at the heart of it all is a single word, repeated again and again by Ortagus: action. Action, not promises, will determine Lebanon's fate. Action, not declarations, will decide whether the border falls quiet or erupts once more. And action, not speeches, will define whether Hezbollah remains a state within a state or whether Lebanon reclaims its sovereignty.
Back down, please. Yes? Okay, if everyone could take their seat.
Wait. Let's have one rule. Let's have one rule, okay? You just had three of the most... Okay, wait. So you want to know what's happening? Act civilized, act kind. Wait, okay, yes, calm down.
Rubio, we're all greatly encouraged by the historic decision of the government a few weeks ago, but now it's not about words. Now it's about action. Israel is willing to go step by step. It might be small steps, baby steps, but they're willing to go step by step with this government. So every step that the Lebanese government takes, we will encourage the Israeli government to make the same step.
When they see that, they will give their counterproposal of what they will do in withdrawals and security guarantees on their border, their boundaries. What Israel has now said, which is historic, is we don't want to occupy Lebanon. We're happy to withdraw from Lebanon. And we will meet those withdrawal expectations with our plan as soon as we see what is the plan to actually disarm Hezbollah.